Well, very good afternoon and welcome to Lone Star Conference Baseball as the West Texas A&M Buffaloes host the Oklahoma Christian Eagles this afternoon here at Wilder Park in Canyon, Texas. A sun-splashed afternoon, winds coming out of the west in this one this afternoon, so it'll make things a little interesting in the outfield, but other than that, not a bad day for college baseball. As the Buffaloes come in with a 19-3 record overall, 17-3 atop the Lone Star Conference and ranked number 4 in the country. Oklahoma City comes in with Christian, comes in with a record of 7-17, and that's their overall record, and 7-17 in conference play. So we get set for this matchup today. It will be it'll be Maddox Hoagland coming in with a 3-0 record, a 491 earned run average on the season, getting set to face sophomore Isaiah Alvarenga. Alvarenga, a 2-3 record, 6.75 earned run average. The Eagles are under the direction of Lonnie Cabell in his 10th season. Of course, Matt Vanderburg guides the Buffaloes as their head coach in his 14th year with a 428 and 241 record overall. As everyone meets out at home plate to exchange lineup cards for this one this afternoon, as both head coaches are out there to kind of go through what to anticipate for today. Again, the thing that we kind of take a look at is what's the weather doing, and again, sunny skies for this afternoon, but winds are coming in out of the west, northwest almost as they come in. 56 degrees will be our game time temperature. We could still climb a few more, maybe reaching 59 today, but winds are coming in out of the west-northwest, and that at about 9 miles per hour, but is gusting throughout the day as well. So we'll watch that as it goes on this afternoon. As we take a look at the starting lineups for today for Oklahoma Christian, it will be Grant Lake leading things off. He playing shortstop today, batting for 241. Chance Westervelt is the right fielder. He's hitting 308. Michael DeForio is in at first base. He's batting 259 on the season. And Tanner White is the one that kind of leads the offensive charge for the Eagles this season. White, of course, in left field, batting 338 on this season. In fact, he comes in to this one this afternoon as he comes in with a 338 batting average on the season, 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 6 home runs. He's driven in 17 so far this season and has a slugging percentage of .638. He's also walked 8 times and has an on-base clip of .402. He'll be hitting in the 4 spot today. Kevin Collier is batting .256 at second base. Matthew Connerly is the designated hitter, 154 on the season. Colton Hinkle is the catcher. He is batting 180 today. Connor Jackson, the third baseman, is batting 77, and he's at third base. Cole Lee is in center field, batting in the 9th spot, and he's batting .257. For the Buffaloes today, getting them set defensively, over at first base will be Eric Ortiz. Ortiz batting .310 on the season. At second base will be Eddie Savoy. The shortstop this afternoon will be Mike Manetta. And at third base this afternoon will be Adam Becker. In left field for the Buffaloes today will be Ryan Johnson. In center field will be Bryant Bailey. In right field for the Buffaloes will be Will Finney. And the catcher for today, of course, is Kennedy Badgett. And his battery mate for today, Maddox Hoagland. As Hoagland comes into this one, and the right-hander getting set for this contest. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back right after this as we continue with baseball on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
As we wrap up with our national anthem. Good crowd on hand for this one today. Again, a bit windy conditions, but we have a sun-splashed sky. There's some clouds that we have right above us for this one today, but both teams ready to go. Of course, WT in the home white uniforms with the maroon trim and maroon numerals, while Oklahoma Christian gray slacks and maroon tops with white numerals set for this one today. And again, this indeed should be a good matchup here for the Buffaloes, and in particular for Maddox Hoagland as he gets his final warm-up tosses in for this one today. Maddox Hoagland comes in with a .491 earned run average. He comes in with a 3-0 record on the season. He's appeared in 6 ball games and, of course, has started all 6 for the big right-hander. Pitched in 29 and a third innings. He's allowed 29 hits, 18 runs, 16 of those earned. He's walked 16. He struck out 43, and batters have a on-base batting average of .246. He's had 1 wild pitch on the season, and he's hit 2 batters as he gets set to face Grant Lake. The junior for Oklahoma Christian comes in with a .241 batting average. He started 24 games this season for the Eagles. Comes in with 20 hits on the season. He's got 5 doubles, a triple, and he's driven in 12 so far this year. And he has scored 8 runs for Oklahoma Christian in the leadoff role. So Grant Lake will come up first, followed by Chance Westervelt, a sophomore, batting .308, and then Michael DeFiore, a sophomore, batting .259 for the Eagles. As final warm-up tosses are there for Maddox Hoagland. Maddox coming into this one, a 6'3" sophomore from Cadillac, Michigan. Went to Indian Hills Community College as he got his final warm-up tosses in. And we are set for the first pitch for this afternoon as Grant Lake will settle in for the Eagles of Oklahoma Christian. Oklahoma Christian out of Edmond, Oklahoma, and this series belongs to the Buffs. There are 8. The first pitch is going to be outside for a ball. Lake will settle back in. And that misses for ball 2. So 2-0 the count on Hoagland. Buffaloes and the Eagles have been playing since 2015. The Buffaloes lead this series 8-1, with WT claiming the last 4 meetings between the two in a series. And there's hit by a pitch, and so Grant Lake will make his way down to first base.
Number 20, Chance Westervelt.
And that'll bring up Chance Westervelt. As Westervelt settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Westervelt out of Moore, Oklahoma, 5'11". Southmore looks at a pitch low for ball 1. So Maddox trying to find the strike zone here, gets a look at his wristband. Right-hander will settle in, ready to go. Westervelt looks at a pitch high for ball 2. So 2-0 the count on the number 2 batter. Again, over at first base is Grant Lake. Got aboard via the hit batsman way, taking a pitch. There's a strike right at the knees. So it runs the count to 1-2. Michael DeForio in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Outfield pretty much straight away, facing Chance Westervelt. Drilled down the third baseline and over the third baseman's head, rounding second and heading to third, and holding the batter at a single. So Westervelt ahead with a hit as he gets aboard, and Grand Lake will motor around to third base. So runners at the corners, no outs here in the top of the first at Wilder Park. And you watch this one as this will just bounce over third base on this one. Nice hit, got by Adam Becker and rounds out to left field. So runners at the corner for the Eagles. Quick throw to first base. Back in time is Westervelt. Michael DeForio comes up. As DeForio batting .259. This is his 59th plate appearance on the season. And he has started 17 games so far for the Eagles. Playing first base today. DeForio has 15 hits. 6 of those are doubles, and he's had 4 home runs this season. Batting from the left side, looks at a pitch on the outside corner that misses for a ball. So Maddox Hoagland trying to zero in and find a comfort spot. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Runs the count to 2-1. Runs the count to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Forio, again with runners at the corners. Westervelt takes a short lead at first. Blake with a longer lead at third. All-speed pitch. It's outside. Evens the count at 2-2. Bryce Sheets happy to be coming your way on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. DeForio settles in, batting again from the left side. That one's fouled off of the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. Tanner White in the on-deck circle for Oklahoma Christian. Maddox comes home with it. That's drilled out to center field. Giving chase, that's over the head of the center fielder, and that's going to be a stand-up double as it bounces out of the ballpark. So a hit batsman, a single, and now a double. And that will score 1 run for the Eagles. And that'll move Westervelt around to third. He was trying to come home, but the umpire sent him back to third base. So runners at second and third for the Eagles. No outs. Tanner White comes up. Tanner White, a senior. Looks at a pitch on the outside corner. Nicely done that time by Maddox Hoagland. So no 1 count. White from El Dorado, Kansas. Takes a swing at this one, drives it down the right field line. That's fair. That'll plate 1. Here comes the second run. So 3 runs here in the top of the first have come across. And Tanner White with a stand-up double. So back-to-back doubles. Plates 2 more. Oklahoma Christian jumps out to a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first. No outs as of yet for the Buffaloes. As Maddox Hoagland will Take a long look in at his battery mate, Kennedy Badgett. Signals in what he wants here with a runner at second base. No outs, 3 runs across already for the Eagles. Bunt shown. That is going to be out at third, and here's the throw to first. It's a double play. As the runner didn't go, he thought that they had signaled a foul ball, but that was out in front of the Buffalo catcher, Kennedy Badgett. He was able to pick that up, gun out the runner at third base, and now their head coach is going to come out and get an explanation. And watch this on the replay. And again, bunt is shown. It's right out in front. Badgett gets it in front of the plate, goes to third in time for the tag out. The runner was running. And then Tanner White didn't take off out of the batter's box. And so they throw him out at first. Now there's a discussion amongst all the umpires out there before we chalk up 2 outs here quickly. For the Eagles, they're having a discussion on this, but again, the umpire at third base called out the runner, which was, Tanner White. It was Kevin Collier, Kevin Connerly, the DH. And so that is going to be a double play. And so White is out 2-5 for out number 1. And Connerly is out 5-3. And there is a pitch on the outside corner to Matthew Connerly. Trying to get all these right. Swung on, and that's a sharp shot out into right field, and that'll be a base hit. As Matthew Connerly is aboard with a single. 4 hits in the inning.
Number 15, Colton Hinkle.
And that'll bring up Colton Hinkle. Hinkle comes into this one batting 180. He's a junior. He's played in 20 games. He started 19. He has 61 at-bats. This is his 62nd plate appearance. Looks at a ball. So settling in to bat from the right side. Hinkle. This one's popped up to first base, and coming over to get it is Eddie Savoy, who's able to pull that one in for out number 3 as Hinkle is out on a pop-up to 4 to the second baseman for out number 3. So 3 runs do come across here in the inning as they get 3 runs on 4 hits. And there was 1 left on base. No errors in the inning. We have played half an inning. Oklahoma Christians jumped out to a 3-0 lead. We'll take a timeout and be back with the bottom half of the first right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, Oklahoma Christian, is able to get 3 runs at the top of the first as they sent 7 batters to the plate in the first inning and able to come across with 3 runs. Buffaloes will try to answer back as they get set to face Isaiah Alvanarga, who comes in with a 6.75 earned run average. He is 2-3 on the season. He's appeared in 5 ball games. He started 5. He's pitched in 28 innings. He's allowed 34 hits, 24 runs, 21 of those earned. He has walked 13, struck out 27, and batters have an on-base batting average of 298. Eddie Savoy will lead things off for the Buffaloes. Second baseman looks at a strike from the right-handed pitcher. So Savoy down in the count, 0-1. That is outside for a ball. So 1-1 count for Savoy, who comes into this one batting .386. Looks at a pitch inside that misses for ball 2. Savoy has started 22 games this season, played in 22. This is his 89th plate appearance. Pops this one up towards the second baseman, and instead it'll be the right fielder that will take charge for the putout, and that'll be Chance Westervelt. And so Eddie Savoy flies out.
Now batting number 30, Ryan Johnson.
So that's out number 1. And I'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson, the junior, comes in with a .447 batting average. Also his 23rd game to start this season. Looks at a strike on the first pitch. It's inside for a ball. Runs the count to 1-1. Kennedy Badgett in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Johnson, the left fielder, settles in, batting from the right side. Johnson takes a cut, hits it down the first base line, and the first baseman cannot come up with it. He had a glove on it and then just couldn't pull it in. So it becomes a long strike. So runs the count to 1-2 on Ryan Johnson. Johnson from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Paradise Valley Community College. Left fielder settles in, ready. Batting from the right side. Up high in the batter's box. Takes a swing and comes up empty, and that's going to be a strikeout. And that's out number 2. That'll bring up Kennedy Badgett.
Now batting number 16, Kennedy Badgett.
So Isaiah Alvarenga able to pick up a strikeout there, and that adds his totals to 28 on the season. Kennedy Badgett batting from the right side. Badgett looks at a strike all the way in. Badgett from Arvada, Colorado, Lamar Community College. Got a pitch low for ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Badgett, a 6'2 senior. Batting from the right side, bit of an open stance, settles in, and looks at a strike for a 1-2 count. Should he get aboard, Adam Becker in the on-deck circle. This is outside, evens the count at 2-2. Badgett batting .377, has an on-base percentage of .515 on the season. And when there's 2 outs, he hits .423. Drives this one down the third base line, but fouling out of play. Good cut, got around on that one well. Just could not straighten it out. Keeps the count even at 2-2. Steps back out. Now resets, takes a look down the third base line. Now settles back in deep in the batter's box. Big open stance for the senior. Hits this one towards the shortstop. Gloved on 2 hops over to first base. In time for the putout. 6-3. So no runs on no hits no errors, and nobody on base for the Buffaloes. And we played an inning. The Eagles have the lead here after one, 3-0 over West Texas A&M. We'll take a timeout, do so, come back for the top of the second. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park on the campus of West Texas A&M University as we get set for the top of the second inning. Oklahoma Christian leading this one by a count of 3-0, and they'll send up the 8, 9, and 1 batters to face Maddox Hoagland as Maddox comes out for his second inning of work. Maddox with a 5.64 earned run average. And that kind of jumped up after that first inning a little bit. First pitch swinging down the first base line. It's Connor Jackson. That is a foul ball and out of play. So a strike for Connor Jackson, the third baseman for Oklahoma Christian. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. So it runs the count to 0-2. Cole Lee is due up next. Jackson with a .077 batting average on the season. Set a pitch outside and low for a ball. So it runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, WT comes in, the number 4 team in the country. That's a high pitch. Evens the count at 2-2. Cole Lee in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Jackson takes a cut, sends this out to shallow center field. Getting back is Eddie Savoy. He goes back from his second base position, able to take care of Connor Jackson for out number 1 on a pop to the second baseman. That'll bring up Cole Lee. Lee, a senior, batting from the left side. Lee settles in, ready to go. First pitch swinging, sends it to Savoy over at second. Here's a 4-3 put out for out number 2. So quickly 2 outs here in the top of the second. We go to the top of the order, and Grant Lake will make his second appearance at the plate. Lake, who comes in to this one, already scoring a run for the Eagles. He was hit by a pitch his first at bat. Lake from McKinney, Texas. 6-foot junior, settles into bat from the right side. Went to McKinney North High School. Looks at a breaking ball inside for a strike. Maddox Hoagland. In the windup, that one's going to be drilled out to right field. Fenny giving chase and able to slide over as Will Fenning able to go out and pick that up for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Eagles of Oklahoma Christian. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We have played an inning and a half, and the Eagles have the 3-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the second, but first, this time out on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you, with dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Well, we head to the bottom of the second inning, and for the Buffaloes, they will send up their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Adam Becker, followed by Will Fenning and Eric Ortiz to face Isaiah Alvarenga, a 5'10 sophomore from Grapevine, Texas, who played at East Texas Baptist before coming over here to Oklahoma Christian. Settling in to bat from the right side will be Becker, who comes in with a .449 batting average. For Adam, this is his 90th plate appearance, and he looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. So a 1-0 count for the Buffalo third baseman, settling back in to bat from the right side. Inside that, pitch misses for a 2-0 count. He'll be followed by Will Fenning, the right fielder, and then Eric Ortiz, the first baseman. That one misses low for ball 3. So Adam Becker will settle back in, batting from the right side. Becker from Midland. And from the University of Houston, looks at a strike on the outside corner. That runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. Becker, big open stance, batting from the right side. Deep in the batter's box, takes a swing, comes up empty for strike 2. So full count for the Buff third baseman. Becker settles back in. Takes a rip down the third baseline. That is a fair ball. It is gloved, but a long throw over to first base pulled the first baseman off the bag. And so that'll have him taking a look back. That's Michael DeFori. He looks back at the umpire, thought he was able to glove that one and keep his foot on the bag. But nevertheless, Becker is aboard as we watch right here. A nice sharp shot down the third base line. And here's digging it out of the hole. There's a thrower to first. The umpire very adamant that first baseman was drawn off the bag. So Becker is aboard with a hit. That'll bring up Will Fenning. Fenning batting from the right side. Right fielder. Drives this one out to left center field. It's going to be shallow coming in, and that's going to bounce in front of the center fielder. And so Fenning gets aboard with a hit. So back-to-back hits have the Buffs at first and second. And so that'll bring up Eric Ortiz with 2 on here in the bottom of the second inning. So Ortiz comes up for the Buffaloes, batting .310 on the season. This is his 23rd game. He's started 22, and it'll be his 72nd plate appearance. He has 22 hits, 7 of those doubles on the season, and he's hit 3 home runs. Batting from the left side, Ortiz settles in, takes a cut, comes up empty. So that's strike 1 for Eric Ortiz. Ortiz out of Puerto Rico, 6'3" junior. Batting from the left side, settles back in, ready to go. Alvarenga ready, the big right-hander. Checks the runner at second, comes home. Bunt is shown, and that's going to be offered up, and that'll be a strike. So Ortiz down in the count 0-2. Mike Manetta in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Ortiz has a quick throw in time. Got Becker leading off the bag at second base, so a nice spin and throw. Got Becker as he was out 1-6. That's out number 1 for the Buffaloes. And gets the leadoff runner off of second base. Fenning still over at first. So Ortiz with an 0-2 count settles back in with only one runner aboard now. Ortiz fouls that one off at the plate. Again, good crowd out here this afternoon at Wilder Park to watch this one. So Ortiz, an 0-2 count, settles back in to bat from the left side. Varnega checks the runner at first base. To Will Fenning. Bluffs a throw over there. Fenning is back easily. Ortiz will settle back in, inches his way closer to home plate. As he settles in, ready to go. Slide open stance, takes a look at the pitcher, and the pitch is outside for a ball. So 1-2 count for Eric Ortiz. Bottom of the second inning, 3-0. The Eagles of Oklahoma Christian with the lead. Here in the second inning, they scored all 3 of theirs in the first. It's going to be high for ball 2, so Ortiz able to battle back to even the count at 2-2. Fenning measures his lead off the bag at first, takes about 3 big steps away from the bag at first. That's way high for a fastball that misses, runs the count full in a 3-2 count for Ortiz. Ortiz, who had played at Palm Beach State before coming here to West Texas A&M, settles in, ready to go. It's going to be popped up into left field, looking to circle underneath and pull that one in. It's Tanner White able to do so, and that's out number 2. So Ortiz flies out to left field for out number 2. And that'll bring up Mike Manetta.
Now batting number 21, Mike Manetta.
Manetta, the shortstop for the Buffaloes, settles in to bat from the left side. 292 at the plate. As Manetta takes a long look out at a pitcher and looks at a pitch in there for a strike. Manetta, a senior from Farmingdale, New York. He's down in the count, 0-1. Clay Artho, the designated hitter in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Quick throw to first. Fenning is back. Manetta settles back in, again batting from the left side. Drives this one towards the shortstop, has to go on one knee, picks it up, throws it over to first. And in time, says the first base umpire, as Manetta is retired 6-3 for out number 3. So no runs for the Buffaloes. They did get 2 hits. There was 1 left on base. And so we have played 2 innings, and that'll send us to the top of the third. But before that, we'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Well, Chance Westervelt will lead things off here. The 2, 3, and 4 batters for Oklahoma Christian. Westervelt takes a look at a strike on the outside corner. He'll be followed by Mike DeForia and Tanner White. Westervelt, who got a board on a hit in the first, came around to score. Fouls this one off of the plate, so it's down on the count 0-2. And again, Westervelt, who was able to drive in, or I should say was able to get that single to have runners at first and second when he was aboard. Set a pitch in the dirt. So that runs the count to 1-2. Westervelt out of Moore, Oklahoma, South Moore. Playing right field today. Set a pitch that misses. So that evens the count at 2-2 for Westervelt. That's down in the dirt for ball 3, so full count. Westervelt able to fight his way back for a full count. Westervelt batting from the right side. Settles in, ready to go. Takes a swing, comes up empty for the first strikeout of the ball game for out number 1. And so that'll bring up Michael DeForia, who got aboard on a double his last at bat and came around to score. And here's the strikeout. Good pitch that comes in, taking a cut. Westervelt comes up empty. First strikeout of the afternoon for Maddox Hoagland. There's a strike. Hoagland settles in ready. This is going to be golf down the first base line, fouling out of play. So runs the count to 0-2 for Michael DeForia. DeForia with that hit back in the first inning, a double. Raised his batting average to 271. Check swing, they're going to appeal. They say he did not go around down at third base, so runs the count to 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. For the first baseman for the Eagles, batting from the left side, settles in, facing Hoagland for the second time, drives this one out to right field, and that may be gone. That got up in the wind, and that carried. So DeForia with a home run, as he is 2 for 2 at the plate today. Had a double in the first and scored, and now has hit a solo home run. So 2 hits in the ball game and 2 runs scored for DeForia as he makes his way back to
Number 7, Tanner White.
the Eagle dugout as they now lead this one 4-0. And you can watch on the replay as big cut, big swing, and that one sends out to right field and over in the parking lot. Taking a cut is Tanner White, now up for his second opportunity. So Tanner White down in the count, 0-1. He had a double his last at bat and drove in 2. Takes a swing at this one, slow roller to first base that the Buffs Eric Ortiz able to glove and throw it back over. DeForia also with 2 runs driven in today. So Tanner White settles back in, batting .346. All-speed pitch And that runs the count to 0-2. Hoagland, who had a rough first inning, giving up those 4 hits. This is going to be golf to second base, and coming up with a Savoy over to first. Ortiz in time for the putout. So White's retired 4-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up Kevin Collier.
Number 0, Kevin Collier.
Collier, a junior. Batting .253 as he bats from the right side. Tried to bunt on his last at bat. Collier takes a big cut and comes up empty. Collier, the second baseman for the Eagles, batting from the right side, close stance, close to the plate. Fouls this one off and is down in the count 0-2. Should he get aboard, then that'll bring up Matthew Connerly. Collier settles back in, batting from the right side. Fouls this one off at the plate. Out of play. Collier, a junior from Edmond, Oklahoma. Played at Oklahoma Christian Academy. 5'9" junior batter from the right side. Takes a cut, comes up empty, and he is a strikeout victim, second strikeout victim here in the inning. So that's out number 3, but not before Oklahoma Christian gets a run on a hit. There was no errors in the inning and no one left on base. We have played 2.5. Oklahoma Christian has a 4-0 lead. We'll be back with the bottom half of the third inning right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
The Texas Panhandle as a whole has been my home for as long as I can remember, and I want to be giving back to the community that made it home. WT's MBA program is ranked number 4 in the state of Texas now. Having the opportunity to come to a university like WT was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. People really care about your success here, and it feels like a family-oriented university, and I really appreciate that. Come apply at WT.
Well, welcome back as we go to the bottom of the third inning, and for the Buffaloes heading to the bottom of the third will be the 8-9 and top of the order to lead things off. Trailing here 4-0 as Oklahoma Christian with 4 runs on 5 hits. They've committed an error and they've left 1 on base. The Buffaloes, no runs on 1 hit. They've left 1 on base. Clay Artho makes his way up as a designated hitter today. Clay from Canyon, Texas, right here at home. Takes a cut, first pitch swinging, sends that out to center field. Center fielder trying to get a glove on it, does. We had to shade his eyes from the sun. Artho, first pitch swinging, flies out for out number 1.
Now batting number 44, Brian Bailey.
That'll bring up Brian Bailey, who makes his way up. Brian batting .344, the sophomore. Settles in to bat from the right side, Bailey. This will be his 33rd plate appearance on the season. Has 11 hits. Takes a look at a strike on the inside corner. Bailey looks at a pitch low and away for a ball. Bailey from Lancaster, Texas. 5'9" sophomore. Batting from the right side. Sends this one up the middle, and that was gobbled up by the shortstop, but he couldn't make it in play. So Bailey gets a board on a hit. So sliding over there to get a glove on it was Grant Lake. As you see Bailey just drive this one, Lake has to dive at it, comes up with it, but just had no play to get it over to first base in time. So Bailey is aboard with a single, takes his lead off the bag at first, measures about 3 steps away, and that brings up Eddie Savoy. Savoy set a pitch outside for a ball. Savoy batting from the right side. Flew out to the right fielder. His first at bat. Here's a quick throw to first. Back is Bailey. Again, the Buffs no base runners in the first. Had 2 in the second, but Adam Becker got picked off at second base after he had too much of a lead, and Bailey goes flying back on another throw. And there Bailey looks as that for Savoy is going to be low for ball 2. 2-0 the count for Savoy out of Montreal, Quebec. Batting from the right side. Savoy looks at a pitch inside for a strike. Runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Savoy, the second baseman today, settles in. Ready to go, batting from the right side, even stance. Bailey measures his lead off the bag at first. It's going to be a slow roller hit to third, but it'll be foul and out of play. So Eddie Savoy settles back in. Eddie batting .382. With runners aboard, he bats .392 on the season. That's high and over his head. Heading to second base is Brian Bailey as he was off with a pitch. So he'll get the stolen base. So we'll see how they score that one. That was a high pitch over the catcher's head. Trying to pull that one in was Colton Hinkle, and he just could not as that one goes high and behind. So Eddie Savoy settles back in, ready to go. Bailey at second base, measures his lead there. That's going to be hit in between first and second for a base hit. They're going to hold Bailey up at third base. So back-to-back hit for the Buffs. Savoy is over at first base, and that'll bring up Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
Johnson comes up batting .442 on the season. And with runners on base, he's hitting .481, .474 with runners in scoring position, which is where Brian Bailey is. Got one out here in the bottom of the third. Ryan Jackson, who struck out his first at-bat, settles in. All-speed pitch had him out in front. So he's down in the count. 0-1. Johnson looks at a pitch that hit him on the shoulder, and so he's going to be aboard, hit by a pitch. So that'll load up the bases for Kennedy Badgett.
Now batting number 16, Teddy Sanchez.
So the bases are full for the catcher for the Buffaloes. Kennedy batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go, batting .372 on the season. And just so you know, when the bases are loaded, he has a .500 batting average. Hopefully that's not the announcer curse right there as Badgett settles in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Bases are juiced to Buffaloes. Badgett's first offering. Swung on, hit toward the third baseman. He throws it home. It bobbles it, but is able to hold on to it. Sticks his foot on the bag at first, or at home, and so Brian Bailey is retired on a fielder's choice for out number 2 as Badgett gets aboard. And that'll bring up Adam Becker, who got a board on an error his last at bat. That was a sharp hit over to third base. It was bobbled by the third baseman, Connor Jackson. But Connor came up with that one that time, able to throw it home for the out. Becker looks at a pitch inside for a ball. Will Fenning in the on-deck circle should Becker get aboard. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Bases are full for the Buffaloes, trying to get a run across. They trail 4-0 to the Eagles. And that's outside corner for a strike. So runs the count to 1-1. So Becker batting from the right side, bit of an open stance, settles in, ready to go. Looks at a pitch in the dirt for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike for the Buffalo third baseman, settles back in, ready to go. Becker hitting in the 5 spot today. Check it, the 4 spot today. Batting cleanup. And that all-speed pitch doesn't break and comes inside, run the count 3-1. 3 balls and a strike for Adam Becker. So no place to put him. Isaiah Alvarenga has to come home with it. The right-hander here working in the 3rd inning. It's a long look in. Comes home with it. And that's going to be ball 4, so a walk plates a run for the Buffaloes. As coming home to score is Eddie Savoy. So 3-1, or 4-1 now is the scout. And that brings up Will Fenning. Fenning got a board on a single his last at bat. First pitch swinging. Fenning with a .353 batting average on the season. .441 if he has 2 outs and .500 if the bases are loaded. So all those sound good as the right fielder settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Fenning from Scottsdale, Arizona. So the pitch inside for a ball. Four to 1. Oklahoma Christian with the lead. Scored 3 in the first, 1 in the third. That's fouled off at the plate for a strike. So 1-1 count for the right fielder for the Buffaloes. Fenning settles back in, ready to go. Getting sun-splashed afternoon here in Canyon, Texas. And he watches that breaking ball all the way into the mid for a ball. So Fenning ahead in the count, 2-1. Bases are loaded for Buffaloes. Trying to get home, scratch home a few more runs here in the bottom of the third. That one misses for ball 3. So that runs the count to 3-1. 3 balls and a strike for the junior. As Fenning settles in, batting from the right side. Everybody measuring their lead off the bag. That misses outside for ball 4, so back-to-back walks have plated runs for the Buffaloes, and they now trail 4-2. As Ryan Jackson will come home to score. That brings up Eric Ortiz. And there'll be a quick conference out on the mound. Nobody was warming up in the Oklahoma Christian bullpen, so if nothing else with 2 outs, it's more just to make sure everybody's on the same page with Eric Ortiz coming up. Eric flied out to left field, his last at bat. Ortiz comes up with a .444 on base percentage on the season, batting average of .306. And batting .312 with runners in scoring position. So conversation is finally broken up out on the hill as Lonnie Cobble will make his way back to the Oklahoma Christian dugout. Ortiz will bat from the left side. First pitch is low for a ball. Again, Ortiz had a full count his last at bat and then flew out to left field. Bases are full of Buffaloes. Still trailing 4-2 here in the bottom of the third. That's going to be low for ball 2. Mike Mineta on the on-deck circle for the Buffs, should Eric get aboard. Ortiz settles back in. Now they'll pause to change baseballs for Isaiah Alvarenga. Alvarenga, the right-hander ready to deliver. Swung on. Ortiz comes up empty on that one. 2 balls and a strike now for Eric Ortiz. Alvarenga's pitch on the way, and that's way inside for ball 3. So he's walked 2 in a row and walked in 2 runs. Bases are still full. Now he's down in the count. Eric Ortiz, 3 balls and a strike. Ortiz drives this one to the first baseman off his body. That'll play 2 runs as that one's going to go out into right field. And so the Buffs are able to tie it up on a hard smash by Eric Ortiz that gobbled up the first baseman. Just trying to get in front of it and basically off his chest. So Ortiz aboard as we watch here. Just a hard shot to the first baseman and it off his chest out into right field. And that'll bring up Mike Mineta. As Mineta batting from the left side. Buffalo shortstop looks at strike 1. 4-4 ball game now here in the bottom of the third. Moneta is the 9th batter in the inning for the Buffaloes. Moneta, that one's down in the dirt, and nice job to keep that in front was Colton Hinkle. Hinkle had that one go off his glove, off his chest, but he kept it in front of him. So that evens the count at 1-1. 2 outs here in the inning. Moneta settles in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. Should Moneta get aboard, then it'll bring Clay Artho back to the plate. Clay started this inning off for the Buffaloes with a fly ball out to center field. Moneta ready to go. That's fouled off at the plate. Evens the count at 2-2. So Moneta will settle back in, ready to go, batting .288 for the Buffaloes this season. Moneta, his 74th plate appearance, and they have the runner caught between first and second, trying to figure out if he can get back to the bag, and does. So a little bit of running there for Eric Ortiz. He was off the bag. They caught him, but he didn't go back to first, and he dared to throw. They threw it over to the first baseman. They kind of went around. And then trying to get the runner home from third base, which is Will Finning. So settling back in to bat from the left side, Moneta ready to go. Runner off, and that's strike 3. Moneta taking all the way, and so Moneta is out on strikes. And that is out number 3. So, for the Buffaloes, they got 4 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error in the inning and 1 left on base, or I should say, there were 2 left on base. As we have played 3, we're tied at 4. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning, but first, this time out, as baseball continues right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks!
Well, we head to the top of the 4th inning, and for Oklahoma Christian, first pitch swinging, foul, and out of play is Matthew Connerly, the DH for today. Connerly, who got a hit back in the 1st inning, behind in the count now, 0-1. Takes a cut there, comes up empty, now down in the count 0-2, facing Maddox Hoagland. Hoagland, who struggled in the 1st, but really has settled in nicely here in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Or I should say the start of the 4th, anyway. That's going to be high for a ball. Working a little quicker than he did earlier in the ball game. And there's an off-speed pitch, and out on strikes is Connerly. And that is out number 1. It's the second strikeout of the afternoon as we watch the replay here. Just a good pitch. Nowhere for Connerly to go. So Maddox Hoagland throws a strike on the inside corner to his next opponent, and that is Colton Hinkle, the catcher. Hinkle, who popped up to Eddie Savoy at second base back in the first inning to end the first inning, up for his second opportunity. Drives this one to the shortstop. Mike Manetta comes up one hop over to first in time for the putout. 6-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up Connor Jackson. Jackson, who popped up to Savoy at second base back in the second inning, as the third baseman settles in for the Eagles, batting from the left side. Jackson takes a swing and sends this one fouling out of play down the left field line for a strike. Should he get aboard, Cole Lee will be due up next. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th in a 4-4 ball game. The Eagles scored 3 runs in the first and 1 in the third on a home run. The pitch is a little low. So Jackson evens the count at 1-1. Buffalo's got all 4 of their runs in the bottom of the third. Good fastball on the outside for a strike, taking a cut at it. Jackson comes up empty. So 1-2 count for the third baseman for the Eagles. Connor settles back in, ready to go, batting from the left side. That just misses on the outside corner for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Kennedy Badgett was trying to frame that one, trying to urge a strike call from the umpire, but couldn't get it done there. Off-speed pitch is there for a strike. And that's 2 strikeouts in the inning, and that is out number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base for Oklahoma City, for Oklahoma Christian, as the Eagles and the Buffaloes are tied here in the middle of the 4th at 4-4. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so. Come back for the bottom of the 4th inning right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, the new pitcher for the Eagles is Kyle Higgins, a 6'5" sophomore from Houston, Texas. Played at Richland College before coming to Oklahoma Christian. Big right-hander, getting his final warm-up toss in. And for the Buffaloes, he will face 8-9 and 1 for the Buffs. It'll be Clay Artho, Bryant Bailey, and Eddie Savoy. For Isaiah Alvarenga, he pitched 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and he hit a batsman. First pitch is Artho. He looks at a strike from Higgins. Off-speed pitch is fouled off at the plate, so Clay Artho is down in the count, 0-2. Artho, 6 foot, 200-pound freshman, redshirt freshman from Canyon High School. Sidewinder that time, way outside for a ball. So different angle levels for the right-handed pitcher. Higgins ready to deliver, and that one is swung on for a strikeout. So Artho is 0 for 2 at the plate. And he becomes the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. Going to bring up Brian Bailey. Bailey, who got a board on a single and then got to third base, and then on a fielder's choice was thrown out at home. Back in the third inning, Bailey settles in, ready to go. Off-speed pitch, fouled right back at us for a strike. So Bailey down in the count 0-1. Bailey pops this one up to the shortstop. He's trying to shield his eyes from the sun and settle underneath and make the put out. Good catch, good put out that time for Grant Lake. And Bailey is retired.
Back to the top of the left order with number 8, Eddie Savoy.
So with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, we go to the top of the order. Eddie Savoy, who flew out to right field in the first at bat, had a single and came around to score a run. Back in the third inning. So he's 1 for 2 at the plate, batting .389. It's at ball 1. Savoy batting from the right side. Pitches inside for a ball. Should he get aboard, Ryan Jackson in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Savoy drives this one down the first base line, fouling out of play. So that runs the count. 2 balls and a strike. Savoy looks at ball. That runs the count to 3-1. Right-hander Higgins ready to deliver. And that one's inside for a ball. So that's the first walk given up by Higgins. And Eddie Savoy will make his way down to first base.
Now batting number 30, Ryan Johnson.
So that'll bring up Ryan Johnson, who got a board back in the third when he was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Also struck out in the first. Buffs left fielder settles in to bat from the right side. Quick throw to first base. Back is Savoy. Savoy settles in. There's a strike. A nice little bend to that one for strike 1 for Ryan Jackson. Ryan Johnson settles in, batting from the right side. Quick throw back to first. Savoy is back. Savoy on the season has not had a stolen base attempt. Measures his lead off the bag at first, though, against the right-hander. Higgins ready to deliver. Sends this one home, and that's going to be drilled out to shallow center field, and coming on to make the putout. Nice run and catch for Oklahoma Christian as Cole Lee comes on to make that putout. And so that is out number 3.
Close to the bottom of the fourth inning, score 9 runs on no hits, no errors. 1 runner.
So no runs for the Buffaloes. No hits. There was 1 runner left aboard. We have played 4. We're tied at 4. 4 across the tops 4 runs for each, Oklahoma City and for Oklahoma Christian and for the WT Buffaloes. We'll take a timeout, do so, and come back right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed.
Well, at top of the 4th inning, and Maddox Hoagland out for work here into the 5th. And in doing so, he'll face Cole Lee to lead things off. Lee shows bunt. That's going to be right back to Hoagland over to first. No, got past him. And Lee will head around to second base as that one goes to the outfield. So Cole Lee gets aboard with a hit. We'll see if they score that as a hit. Then we'll go to the top of the order. Grant Lee will come to the plate. So everybody's signaling in what they want here, both defensively and offensively for Oklahoma Christian. So Cole Lee is aboard. That'll bring up Grant Lake, who was hit by a pitch and scored in the first and flew out to right in the second. He looks at ball 1 here in the 5th. So they did say that Lee got aboard on a bunt for a hit. And that's going to be a strike for Grant Lake. And then advance to second base on the throwing error. So the Buffs pick up an error here in the ball game. So the pitch is fouled off at the plate, and that's going to be a strike. So Lake down on the count 1-2. Chance Westerveld in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. No outs. Runner at second base is Cole Lee. Grant Lake takes a cut, comes up empty for strikeout.
That's the score, especially strikeout.
And that is out number 1. That's the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Maddox Hoagland. Checks the runner at second base. Checks with his second baseman, Eddie Savoy, and then settles in ready to go, facing Chance Westerveld. Westerveld, who got aboard on a single back in the first and scored a run, struck out in the 3rd. Fouls this one off at the plate. So he's down in the count 0-1. 4-4 ball game here, top of the 5th inning. Again, Oklahoma Christian got 3 runs in the first and 1 in the 3rd. Buffs got all 4 of their runs in the 3rd. And that's in there for a strike, with Westerveld looked like taking on that one, down in the count 0-2. Outside corner, strike 3. Westerveld doesn't like the call, but back-to-back strikeouts for the Buffaloes and for Maddox Hoagland. It's his 4th strikeout of the ball game. And you can watch the replay right here. That one just got the outside corner. Nice looking pitch, had a nice break to it. And before we get a pitch going for the Buffaloes, they're going to have a quick visit out on the mound with 2 outs here. There is no action in the Buffalo bullpen, so Maddox Hoagland just getting some defensive help on how they want to set with 2 outs here. Runner aboard at second base. Now 4-4 ball game. Everybody agrees. Everybody's on the same page. Kennedy Badgett will head back to get behind the plate. And that'll bring Michael DeForia to the plate. He's 2 for 2 so far today. Batting .283 on the season. That home run back in the 3rd inning is his first. Fouls this one off at the plate. So down in the count 0-1. So he has hit a double and a home run on the season. That was his 5th home run. And sends this base hit. Well, Savoy was able to go glove on it, but they sent the runner all the way, and that one's had Savoy going away from everyone. So Cole Lee comes around to score. And so aboard at first base is Michael DeForia, who is 3 for 3 at the plate today and has driven in 3 runs. And so now Oklahoma Christian has the 5-4 lead over the Buffaloes. So 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Runner at first base, and a run's come home, and an off-speed pitch has Tanner White swinging and missing. White, who had a double back in the 1st, grounded out to the second baseman in the 3rd, up for his 3rd opportunity today. Off-speed pitch, he lays off of it. Evens the count at 1-1. 5-4, Oklahoma Christian takes the lead here in the top of the 5th inning. White batting from the left side, settles back in, runs this one. That's going to find a seeing eye signal between short and 3rd. And so White gets his 2nd hit of the ball game, gets aboard. So 2 strikeouts, then back-to-back hits. Have runners at 1st and 2nd for the Eagles.
Number 0, Kevin Collier.
So that brings up Kevin Collier, the second baseman today. Kevin grounded out in the 1st inning, tried to button his way aboard, struck out in the 3rd, facing Hoagland. Looks at a ball. So runners at 1st and 2nd for the Eagles. Everyone playing back a bit. That one gets away from Badgett, but he's able to run it down, keeps it in front of him. Runs the count to 2-0. So Kevin Collier, second baseman, batting .250 on the season, settles back in, batting from the right side. Hoagland checks the runner at 2nd, comes home, and that one is going to be gloved up over to 3rd. They say he's safe. Mike Bonetta made a nice stop, throws it over to 3rd, but they say the runner was able to get there in time. So they're going to call him safe. So that means the base paths are full. And so 3 hits in a row have loaded up the bases for the Eagles. There's some action in the WT bullpen. Some loosening at least going on a little bit. That brings up Connerly. Matthew Connerly takes a swing, comes up empty. So Connerly has struck out and has singled today. He's the DH in the ball game for the Eagles from Oklahoma Christian. Outside corner misses for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. Colton Hinkle on deck. Should Connerly get aboard. Good off-speed pitch, had Connerly out in front. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Get base paths are full. 1 run has already come home for Oklahoma Christian. They lead this one 5-4 here in the top of the 5th. Hoagland has his pitches swung on and fouled off out of play by Connerly. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Connerly with 179 batting average. Pitch is high and tight for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. No place to put Connerly. There's the base paths are full of Oklahoma Christian Eagles. Maddox Hoagland working here in the 5th. And that is a strike. And so Connerly is out on strikes for out number 3. But 1-1 does come across as we watch this replay. And again, just got the outside corner. Connerly didn't agree, but nevertheless, that was out number 3. So a run on 3 hits. There was 1 error in the inning and 3 left on base. We have played 4.5. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Buffs trail 5-4. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Just completed my academic courses, so now I am starting my research at West Texas A&M University, trying to find out the export of sorghum from United States to China. I cannot express properly how helpful they are. I am proud to be a WT student.
Apply to West Texas A&M University right now at wtamu.edu/apply.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Buffs trail 5-4 to Oklahoma Christian. Oklahoma Christian 5 runs on 9 hits. They've committed 2 errors. They've left 4 on base. The Buffaloes 4 runs on 3 hits. They've committed an error and left 4 on base. Set to lead off the bottom of the 5th is Kennedy Badgett, followed by Adam Becker and Will Finning, the 3, 4, and 5 batters in the lineup today for the Buffaloes. Badgett gets set. First pitch, looks at a strike. Badgett got a board on a fielder's choice and came around to score. Back in the 3rd inning and grounded out to the shortstop back in the 1st. Off-speed pitch misses for a ball. Badgett got hit by that pitch and an off-speed pitch. He'll head down to first base from Higgins. Kyle Higgins.
That's a Jimmy Victor hit by pitch. That brings up number 22, Adam Becker.
That'll bring up Adam Becker. Becker so far on the afternoon has got a board on an error and walked in the 3rd and came around to score. Becker batting from the right side. Breaking ball outside for a ball. And Kyle Higgins is interesting. He has many different arm motions when he's coming to the plate, so you really can't lock in on anything. It's going to miss, or no, not miss. It'll hit the outside corner for a strike. Evens the count for Becker at 1-1. Buffs third baseman. Batting from the right side, settles back in again. 5-4 our score, bottom of the fifth. Quick throw to first, Badgett's back. Kyle Higgins working here in his second inning of relief. Came on in the fourth. That one misses for a ball. So Higgins, who has walked one and struck out one so far. Settles in ready to go. That one is popped up down toward right field and trying to settle under it, and doing so, able to pull that one in was Chance Westervelt. So that's out number one for the Buffaloes. Adam Becker flies out to right field. That'll bring up Will Fenning, who has singled and walked. Will was left at third base back in the third inning after he got a board on a walk. Was able to drive in a run with that walk. That got the inside corner for a strike. So Fenning evens the count at 1-1. Fenning batting from the right side. Again, sidearm delivery, that's outside for a ball. Eric Ortiz in the on-deck circle. Bottom of the fifth, Buffs trail by 1. Inside pitch misses for ball 3. So Fenning ahead in the count, 3-1. Runner at first base is Kennedy Badgett. Measure his lead here. Higgins comes home. That's driven out to left center field. And that's going to fall in for a base hit. So Will Fenning with his second hit of the ball game. Has runners at first and second.
Now number 25, Eric Ortiz.
That'll bring up Eric Ortiz. Eric singled. And you watch on the replay here as good swing by Fenning, and it just drops into left center field for a base hit. Quick visit on the mound with Kyle Higgins from the coaching staff for Oklahoma Christian. They do have activity in their bullpen. They have 2 pitchers warming up down in the Eagles bullpen area. Higgins working here in his second inning of work. Has worked 1 in the third inning. He's allowed 1 hit so far. And they got everything set the way they want it. So Eric Ortiz will make his way to the plate. Ortiz batting .301 on the season. Ortiz batting from the left side, settles in ready to go. First pitch swinging's fouled off at the plate. So Eric down in the count, 0-1. Nice afternoon here at Wilder Park. Maybe a little cooler than the norm. Wind still kind of dissipating a bit, so not as strong as it was earlier in the ball game. Ortiz takes a big cut, comes up empty. Eric down in the count now, 0-2. And just as I talk about the wind, it picks up from the north, coming straight at us. So it had calmed for a moment. Ortiz swings and pops this one up down the third base line. Running over and making a grab is the left fielder. And that is out number 2 as Ortiz flies out to left field for out number 2. Keeps the runners at first and second.
Now batting number 21, Mike Manetta.
And that brings up Mike Manetta, who has grounded out and struck out today. 0 for 2 at the plate. His batting average at .284 on this season. Comes up with 2 outs and 2 aboard. First pitch check swing. That's going to be a foul for a strike. Senior settles back in, batting from the left side. Takes a cut, comes and fouls it off at the plate. So Manetta down in the count, 0-2. Badgett measures his lead off the bag at second, so 2. Does Fenning at first base. That's going to be hit up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. And they're going to wave Badgett around to come in to tie the ball game up at 5. And so Kennedy Badgett able to come around and score on that single by Mike Manetta. Manetta, nice drive right up the middle. And that plates the run. So you watch on the replay right here. Again, Manetta, left-hander, swings and drives it right up the middle. And that allows Kennedy Badgett to come around and score and tie the ball game up at 5 apiece. Fenning over at second base. Manetta over at first. And there's a strike on the inside corner to Clay Artho. Artho, who has struck out and flown out. Takes a kind of a halfway swing. He's kind of fooled on that pitch. Wasn't quite sure. Kind of a half-hearted swing. One of those you'd like to stop and you can't. So he's down in the count, 0-2. Redshirt freshman settling in from the right side. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. And Artho is out on strikes for out number 3. So the Buffs do get a run on one hit, two hits, excuse me. And 2 were left on base. We have played 5 complete. We're tied once again at 5. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you, with dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
So we go to the top of the 6th inning as Maddox Hoagland comes out and works in his 6th inning. And for him, he'll face 7, 8, 9 batters in the lineup for Oklahoma Christian. And that'll be Colton Hinkle to lead things off. And Hinkle So far, 0 for 2 at the plate today. Hinkle batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. First pitch is in there for a strike. Connor Jackson in the on-deck circle, then Cole Lee. That'll be the three that Hoagland faces here. In the top of the sixth, that one's inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. This is the first game of a 4-game series between these two. That one just misses on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike for Hinkle. Hinkle drives this one to Mike Mineta on 2 hops. Guns it over to first base in time for the putout. 6-3. So that's out number 1. Hard hit ball, but right at Mike Mineta, able to glove it and throw it over to Eric Ortiz for the first out. We go to Connor Jackson coming up. Jackson today has popped up to the second baseman and struck out. He is 0 for 2 at the plate today. Looks at a pitch on the outside for a ball. Top of the 6th, a 5-5 ball game. Good off-speed pitch had Jackson out in front. That evens the count at 1-1. Maddox Hoagland working here in the 6th. Off-speed pitch there again for a strike. So Maddox ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes over Connor Jackson. Jackson batting from the left side. And check swing didn't go around. It evens the count at 2-2. 1 out here at the top of the 6th. Maddox checks the armband to see what pitch. That one outside corner just misses. And that brings the count full at 3-2. That was a good-looking pitch from Maddox that time. Connor Jackson settles in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Takes a cut, and he is out on strikes.
That's his cover, especially strikeout. Take his t-shirt.
So for Maddox Hoagland, that is his 5th strikeout of the ball game, as we watch right here. Again, had it set up nicely, and then just good fastball chest level as Connor Jackson is out for out number 2, and that brings up Cole Lee. Lee got a board on a bunt and came around to score his last at bat. Looks at a strike for the first pitch he sees here at his 3rd at plate appearance. He grounded out to Eddie Savoy back in the 2nd inning. So he is 1 for 2 today. That pitch is a little high for a ball. Maddox Hoagland ready to go. Big right-hander. Dismisses outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike for Cole Lee. Should Cole get aboard, Grant Lake in the on-deck circle. Cole Lee swings and sends this one down the left field line, fouling out of play. Cole Lee, a 5'10 senior from Oklahoma City, played at Southern Nazarene. Makes his way back. That evens the count at 2-2. So 2's across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the center fielder for Oklahoma Christian. Swung on, and that is hit. Hard shot to Ortiz. Underhands over to first. And on to Maddox in time for the put out. 3-1 for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. We have played 5.5. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we're tied at 5. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, Kyle Higgins comes out for his 3rd inning of work in relief of Isaiah Alvanegra. Higgins, who so far has given up 2 hits in 2 innings that he's pitched. He's allowed 1 run, and that has been earned. Struck out 2. And he gets set to face Brian Bailey, who will lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th, and then we go to the top of the order. First pitch is a strike to Bailey. Bryant, who has singled and popped up to the shortstop, looks at a pitch way outside for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. Bailey from Lancaster, Texas, takes a cut. Bailey, a sophomore. Down in the count 1-2. Sends this one to the first baseman, who gobbles it up. Steps on the bag, so Brian Bailey is retired. 3 unassisted. And that is out number 1. We go to the top of the order, and that'll be Eddie Savoy. Savoy has singled and scored a run. He walked back in the 4th, and he flew out to right field in the 1st. Savoy looks at ball 1. Savoy batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch on the inside part of the plate for a strike. So that evens the count at 1-1. Savoy, a sophomore, looks at a strike on the outside corner now. Played at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. That pitch is high for a ball. So for Eddie Savoy, that evens the count at 2-2. Bottom of the 6th inning. Savoy hammers that down the third base line, but fouling out of play. 5-5 ball game. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Savoy trying to get a board for the Buffaloes. That's going to be low. So that runs the count full at 3-2. Savoy sends this out to right field, and that may fall in for a base hit. Savoy, as that gets away from first baseman, and he'll head around to second base. So Savoy. So he does become base runner for the Buffaloes. As we watch on the replay here, and again, just kind of sends that down the right field line, gets away from everybody and bounces away. And so that allowed him to turn the corner at first and head to second base. So Savoy gets a double. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson, first pitch swinging, sends it out to right center field. That's going to be a tough catch. That's going to get away and bounce over the center fielder's head. Savoy's being sent around. Here's the throw to the plate. He is in easily. So Eddie Savoy gives the Buffs the lead on a double out to right center field by Ryan Jackson.
That RBI double brings up number 16, Kenny Badger.
That brings up Kenny Badgett comes up, but before that, we're going to have a meeting out on the mound. Back-to-back doubles put the Buffs in front 6-5, and that may be all, and that is all for Kyle Higgins. So we're going to have a pitching change. And so Oklahoma Christian goes to their bullpen, and so we'll take a break. And we'll do so with the Buffs now leading 6-5 here in the bottom of the sixth. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you, dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Well, the new pitcher for the Eagles of Oklahoma Christian is Andrew Alonzo, a 6-foot sophomore from Royce City, Texas, and Clarendon College. So he gets set to face his first batter of the afternoon, and that pitch is going to be outside facing Kennedy Badgett. That'll be ball 1. Can't completely close the book yet on Kyle Higgins. He pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Still responsible for the runner at second base. That's Ryan Johnson. Kennedy Badgett steps out. Six to 5, the Buffs with the lead here in the bottom of the sixth. Badgett ready to go. So the pitch down low for a ball. So Alonzo in the hole here. Well, I guess they got him on a 1-1 count. I had it as a 0-2 count, but we'll go with that. That's going to be high for a ball. Runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Badgett batting from the right side. He was hit by a pitch back in the 5th and came around to score. Got a board on a fielder's choice in the 3rd and scored. And grounded out in the 1st inning. Takes a cut. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2-2 count for the Buffalo catcher. Kennedy Badgett settles back in, ready to go. That's going to be outside for a ball, so that runs the count full. Again, back-to-back doubles for the Buffs gave them the go-ahead run. Eddie Savoy came around to score. The Buffs lead this one 6-5 here in the bottom of the 6th. Badgett takes a cut, comes up empty, and he is going to be retired for a strikeout of the afternoon for Adam Alonso.
Now batting number 22, Adam Becker.
And that'll bring up Adam Becker. As Becker will settle in, ready to go. Becker backing from the right side. First pitch is outside for a ball. Becker, who got a board on an error back in the 2nd inning, and then walked in the 3rd and came around to score. He flew out to right field in the 5th. And up here in the 6th, facing Alonso. And that one misses for ball 2. Will Fenning on deck should Becker get aboard. Bottom of the 6th inning. Becker ready to go. Alonso checks the runner at second, and that's fouled off at the plate. So that evens, or I should say runs the count to 1-2. Or try it the other way around, runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Becker settles back in, ready. Batting from the right side. Ryan Jackson measures his lead off the bag at second base. That's going to be fouled off the plate. That evens the count at 2-2. So Becker batting .440 on the season. Settles in, ready to go. Batting from the right side, facing Andrew Alonso, excuse me. The right-hander ready to go. That misses outside, runs the count full. So a 3-2 count for the Buff third baseman. With 2 outs here in the inning, that means that Johnson most likely will extend that lead off the bag at second. And should be ready to go. And taking a cut, but coming up empty, is Becker for out number 3, so back-to-back strikeouts. The Buffs able to get a run on 2 hits. No innings, no errors in the inning, and 1 was left on base. We have played 6 complete. West Texas A&M ahead 6-5 over Oklahoma Christian. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. the relentless grinding pain, slows you down, and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Days are built on mornings, and Whataburger is built on burgers. Mornings, burgers. Morning burgers? Yeah, all right. Good thing there's a burger made just for breakfast, topped with breakfast. The limited time breakfast burger is back at Whataburger.
Well, we go to the top of the 7th inning, and still working out on the hill for the Buffaloes is Maddox Hoagland. He now has a 6-5 lead here as we go to the top of the 7th. And Grant Lake will lead things off for Oklahoma Christian here in the 7th. Grant has struck out, was hit by a pitch and scored, and flew out to right field. First pitch down in the dirt for a ball. Hoagland working here in the 7th. He's allowed 5 runs on 9 hits. 4 of those are earned. He's struck out 8. That's going to be out to right field, and back, and at the warning track and pulling that one in. Will Finning does a nice job as he falls back into the fence on that shot that was given for a ride by Grant Lake. So Grant flies out to right for out number 1 here in the 7th. That'll bring up Chance Westervelt. Westervelt batting from the right side. Hoagland's first offering is a nice bender in there for a strike. And Westervelt has struck out twice and singled back in the first before another pitch. We're going to have a quick visit to the mound for the Buffaloes. Again, they just started getting somebody loose in the WT bullpen. So quick conversation going on out on the mound. And head coach Matt Vandenberg wanting to make sure with the umpire. I think the umpire thought that might have been another visit, but it's not. So, again, allowing some time for whoever is pitching in the Buffs bullpen to get a little more pitches in. So that visit is complete. So Chance Westervelt, who is down in the count 0-1, will settle back in, ready to go. Hoagland checks the pitch, checks that wristband, comes in the windup, and that's going to be drilled towards the shortstop. Mineta throws over to first in time as Westervelt is retired. 6-3 for out number 2. And that'll make up Michael DeFurio. And
number 23, Michael DeFiorio.
DeFiorio has been 3 for 3 at the plate. He has a single, a double, and a home run. And that's probably going to be all for Maddox Hoagland, as we're going to have a pitching change. And so in doing so, we're going to take a timeout. The Buffs lead this one 6-5 here in the top of the 7th. We have 2 outs in the inning and a pitching change for the Buffaloes. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this. The Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology, innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shim and Dillon Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Just completed my academic courses, so now I am starting my research at West Texas A&M University, trying to find out the export of sorghum from United States to China. I cannot express properly how helpful they are. I am proud to be a WT student.
Apply to West Texas A&M University right now at wtamu.edu/apply.
Well, Maddox Hoagland pitched 6 2/3 innings for the Buffaloes. And again, Maddox allowed 5 runs on 9 hits. There were 2 errors that were committed by the defense. And he also struck out 7 on the day, or 8 on the day, excuse me. And so he makes way for Colton Charnholm, the 6'1", 200-pound junior left-hander from Ennis, Montana, who pitched for Washington before coming to WT, facing Michael DeForio. First pitch is a strike, good fastball on the inside part of the plate. Again, Michael today is 3 for 3 at the plate. He has a single, a double, and a home run, and he scored 2 runs. DeForio, batting from the left side, will step back out, step away. DeForio from Lucas, Texas. And Lovejoy High School is a sophomore, 6'2". Takes a cut and an off-speed pitch. He's down in the count. 0-2. DeForio batting in the 3 spot today. Tanner White in the on-deck circle should DeForio get aboard. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Buffs lead at 6-5. That's going to be outside for a ball. Charnholm, who has a 4-2 record coming into this one. Pitched in 13 innings. He's allowed 16 earned runs on the season. That's going to be high for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. He's walked 13. He's struck out 9. Check that. He's walked 6 and struck out 17. He's allowed 9 earned runs on the season. And taking a swing and coming up empty. DeForio is out for the first time this afternoon, and that's out number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We have played 6.5. We'll come back for the bottom of the 7th with the Buffs leading at 6-5. But first, we'll take this time out on Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th.
Well, welcome back as we get set for the bottom of the seventh inning. Andrew Alonso comes out for the second inning of work. Alonso, by the way, had as a 1-2 mark coming into this season. He's pitched in 22 2/3 innings. He's allowed 25 hits, 22 runs, 14 of those earned. He has walked 12, struck out 24. 2 of those hits have been doubles, and he's allowed 2 home runs as he gets set to face the Buffaloes' Will Finning, just the bottom of the 7th. Finning, first pitch is low for a ball. Will today has singled twice and has walked once, so he's been on base all 3 times he's been up today. Finning batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch in tight for ball 2 from Andrew Alonso. Alonso again out of Royce City, Texas. Played at Clarendon College before going to Oklahoma Christian. That's right at the knees for a strike. So 2 balls and a strike for Will Finning, Eric Ortiz in the on-deck circle, and then Mike Manetta. So 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup today for the Buffaloes. They lead it 6-5 here in the bottom of the 7th. Swinging and driving that one foul and out of play. That evens it up for Will at 2-2. Finning ready to go. So to Alonso. And that's golfed out to shallow center field, and that'll be a base hit as that one falls in front of the center fielder. A good effort to try to come up under that one from Cole Lee, but still couldn't as Finning is aboard with his 3rd hit of the ball game.
That brings up number 25, Eric Ortiz.
That brings up Eric Ortiz as we watch this replay. Again, golfed that one, kind of got under it. Just enough to fall in front of Lee in center field. And that'll bring up Ortiz. Ortiz dropped below the 300 mark, now batting .297. Here's a quick throw to first, and back is Finning. Ortiz, who today is flied out to left field, hit a single and flied out to left. So he's flied out to left twice and looks at a strike there. Ortiz down in the count 0-1. Wilder Park, here in Canyon, the West Texas A&M campus. Swung on, that's going to be a strike for Ortiz. Buffs lead it here in the bottom of the 7th, 6-5 over Oklahoma Christian. Buffs 17-3 in conference play, 19-3 on the season. Ortiz, that pitch just missed for ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Ortiz. Buff first baseman settles in batting from the left side. Will Finning measures his lead off the bag at first. They throw over there. He slides back in. Alonzo, the right-hander, ready to go. That's going to be hammered toward first. They throw to second in order to get the lead runner, and so Fenning is retired as Ortiz is aboard on a fielder's choice. So Fenning is retired 3-6. That's out number one. And that'll bring up Mike Manetta. Manetta got aboard on a single, his last at bat. He's also struck out and grounded out. Manetta batting .293, batting from the left side, settles in ready to go. Manetta's first pitch offering is the outside corner for a strike. He looks back at the umpire and is kind of bewildered on that call. The umpire says that caught the outside corner. He thought it was a little high. Manetta settles back in, ready to go. Alonzo's pitch swung on and fouled off at the plate. So now Manetta down in the count 0-2. Manetta settles back in. Alonzo takes a long look in at him. The right-hander gets the signal from his battery mate. Now Manetta steps out as Artho, Colton Hinkle trying to get on the same page. Manetta now ready. Alonzo. It's going to be high for a ball. So Manetta down in the count, 1-2. Here in the bottom of the seventh inning, one out so far for the Buffs. Eric Ortiz over at first base. Manetta fouls this one off at the plate. Keeps the count at 1-2. So Alonzo gets the new baseball, checks the runner Ortiz over at first, and now settles back in on the pitching rubber, ready to go. Mike Manetta settles back in. Sends this one to the shortstop. It's hot potato. They can only get the lead run because that one got away from Grant Lake a little bit. So Manetta is aboard on a fielder's choice. And Ortiz is retired 6-4. Crowd number 2.
Number 2, Nolan Kuhn.
And so that'll bring Nolan Kuhn to the plate. 5'10" sophomore from Yukon, Oklahoma, from Connors State, getting a chance to pitch hit here for the DH, Clay Artho. Kuhn. First pitch swung on and fouled off at the plate for a strike. Nolan batting from the left side. Settles in ready to go. Alonzo throws to first. Back in time is Manetta. Manetta only really about 2.5 now, kind of inches a little further away from the bag at first. Nolan Kuhn on here in the seventh. Sends that one a line shot to the third baseman for a line out for out number 3. So the Buffs, no runs on one hit. No errors in the inning and and one left on base. We have played 7 complete. The Buffs still lead this one 6-5 over Oklahoma Christian. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back for the top of the 8th. right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train long, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, we go to the top of the 8th in a 6-5 ball game. West Texas A&M in front of Oklahoma Christian by 1. And Oklahoma Christian will send their 4, 5, and 6 hitters to the plate here to face Colton Charnholm, who is on for his second inning of work. Colton came on with 2 outs in the 7th inning, got the 3rd out recorded on a strikeout. And Charnholm's pitch swung on from Tanner White, comes up empty. So White down in the count 0-1. White today has doubled and singled and also grounded out on the afternoon. White's batting .349 on this season. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. Again, this is the first of 4 games. They'll play 2 tomorrow, starting at 4 in the afternoon. And then play on Sunday, beginning at 1. So White settles back in to face Charnholm. Sends this one high in the sky toward right center field. Coming on is Finnig to make that put out. And so White is out on a fly out for out number 1. And that'll bring up
number 0, Kevin Collier.
That brings up Kevin Collier. Collier so far on the afternoon has struck out, has grounded, and tried to bunt his way on back in the first. Got a pitch inside for a ball. Collier playing second base today. Settles into bat from the right side. Looks at a pitch low for ball 2. Collier from Edmond, Oklahoma. The junior. Bats from the right side, facing the left-hander Colton Charnholm. That's driven right back up the middle. Savoy comes up on 1 hop, throws it over to first in time for the putout. And so Kevin Collier is out 4-3 for out number 2. So nice play by Savoy as we get set to face Matthew Connerly. And instead, they're going to have a pitch hitter come up. Instead of Connerly, this will be Jake Lamar, a 6'1 sophomore from Jenks, Oklahoma.
Now batting number 32, Jake Lamar.
So Lamar comes up. Lamar's first pitch swinging is a base hit down the third base line. Man, that was hugging the line all the way. Lamar will round first, head to second. And now will be making his way to third. Here's the relay, not in time. So Lamar in with a triple. As he got a hold of that one right down the third base line. And so you'll watch the replay, and this was just a rocket down the third base line. Johnson tried to go over and pick it up and got caught in the coffin corner, as they say, out in left field, and so unable to catch up to that one. So a runner at third base with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th in a 6-5 ball game. And looking at ball 1 is the catcher, Colton Hinkle. Hinkle is grounded out twice and popped up to the second baseman back in the first inning. There's a strike on the inside corner. Evens the count at 1-1. So 2 outs with a runner at third base. Hinkle settles in ready to go, facing Charnholm. First time he has seen him today. Charnholm in the one. Inside misses for a ball. Nice job by the Buffs catcher, Kennedy Badgett, coming over to just keep that one in front of him. So 2-1 count for Hinkle. Right back to the pitcher. Charnholm gets it on one hop, throws it over to first to retire Hinkle. 1-3 for out number 3. So no runs on one hit. A big one, though. And 1 left on base. We have played 7 1/2 innings. And the Buffs still hold on to a 6-5 lead over Oklahoma Christian. We'll take a timeout, be back for the bottom of the 8th. Right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, Andrew Alonso comes on for his third inning of work as he will face the number 9 hitter for the Buffaloes, Bryant Bailey. Then back to the top of the order, Eddie Savoy and Ryan Johnson, as the Buffs lead this one 6-5, going here to the bottom of the 8th. Buffs trying to tack on maybe a run or two to pad this lead. Buffs again 19-3 on the season, 17-3 in conference play. Number 4 in the country, while Oklahoma Christian is into this contest with a 7-17 record for the Eagles, both in the conference and their regular season record.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for your Buffs, number 44, Bryant Bailey.
So Lancaster, Texas sophomore will settle back in to bat from the right side. He was retired 3 unassisted his last at bat. He hit it back to the first baseman. He's walked and popped up to the shortstop today. Bailey settles in. First pitch is going to be outside for a ball. So Alonso working here into the 8th. He's pitched 1 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit. He struck out 2. And that's going to be drilled out to right center field. It's going to be a long run, and coming over to make the catch, nicely done, is Lee, the center fielder. as Cole got a good beat on it and was able to get underneath it. And Brian Bailey goes out on a fly out to center field for out number 1. So that brings Eddie Savoy to the plate. Eddie has doubled and scored back in the 6th, walked in the 4th, singled and scored in the 3rd, and flew out to right field in the 1st. And then he looks at strike 1. Savoy batting from the right side, settles in. Drives this one out to right field and giving chase and getting under. And able to pull that one in is the right fielder, Westerview, as Eddie Savoy flies out to right for out number 2. So Ryan Johnson heads to the plate. He is struck out, hit by a pitch, and scored a run. Flew out to center field in the 4th and has a double on the day. Also driven in a run. Johnson looks at a ball low for his first pitch. Johnson settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Buffs lead at 6-5. And that's low for ball 2. So 2-0 count on Ryan Johnson. Should he get aboard, Kennedy Badgett in the on-deck circle. Johnson inside for ball 3. So probably taking on this pitch, heading the count 3-0 on Andrew Alonso. That was a strike on the outside corner. Johnson trying to get aboard for the Buffaloes. Again, they lead this 1-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. And that's in there for a strike on the inside corner. So runs the count full for Alonso. Johnson settles in. Way inside for ball 4. So Ryan Johnson aboard with a walk. That'll bring up Kennedy Badgett. Badgett today is grounded out. Got aboard on a fielder's choice and scored a run. Hit by a pitch and scored a run and struck out back in the 6th. So Badgett settles in, ready to go, batting .363 for the Buffs. Kennedy batting from the right side. First pitch takes a big cut, comes up empty. He was kind of loaded up on that one, ready to swing. So he's down on the count 0-1. Should he get aboard Adam Becker in the on-deck circle. Badgett on the season has 1 home run, 9 doubles. Quick throw to first, back in time. It's Ryan Johnson. Badgett settles in, batting from the right side, the big buff catcher, ready to go. Quick throw back over to first, back in time is Johnson. Trying to keep him close to the bag. And back over to first. Johnson's there in time. Alonzo gets the ball back, ready to throw his 39th pitch. Going to be outside for a ball. So that evens the count at once for Kennedy Badgett. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Johnson over at first base. Kennedy Badgett settles back in to bat from the right side. Again, Alonzo taking a lot of time, checking the runner. Johnson over at first base. Badgett pops this one out to right center field. And circling under it is Lee to make the put out. So Badgett is out on a fly out to center field for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We have played 8 complete, and West Texas A&M leads this one 6-5 over Oklahoma Christian. We're back for the top of the 9th after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology, innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
Well, Charnholm comes back out to work here in the top of the 9th inning. And he'll face Connor Jackson, Cole Lee, and then Grant Lake. Buffs have made a defensive change as Paul Whitman goes in.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 16, Jaron Hill.
So Paul is in left field. So Jackson settles in to bat. That hits him. Actually, that wasn't Jackson. It was Jaron Hill to hit for Jackson. So Jaron Hill gets aboard.
Number 3, Cole Lee.
And that'll bring up Cole Lee. So Jaron Hill is aboard over at first base. Charnholm checks him. Cole Lee sends a bunt. And that's going to be underhanded over to first in time for Cole Lee to be retired. 1-3 for out number 1. That does move Hill over to second base. So 1 out, we go to the top of the order. Grant Lake will come to the plate.
Number 1, Grant Lake.
Lake batting .233 on the season. But a little bit better with runners in scoring position, .294. And before that, we're going to have a pitching change for the Buffaloes as the Buffs will go to the bullpen and bring someone in for Charnholm and Colton, who has pitched 1 2/3 of an inning and struck out 1 and allowed 1 triple. And so as we go to the bullpen, we'll take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Just completed my academic courses, so now I am starting my research at West Texas A&M University, trying to find out the export of sorghum from United States to China. I cannot express properly how helpful they are. I am proud to be a WT student.
Apply to West Texas A&M University right now at wtamu.edu/apply.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back as we have a pitching change. Coming in for the Buffaloes is the right-hander, the 6'2 sophomore Reese Miller. Miller comes in having pitched in 12 2/3 innings so far this season. Has 3 saves for the Buffaloes. He's allowed 7 runs on 13 hits. He's walked 5 and struck out 14. So Miller comes on to try to get a save here, working in the top of the 9th inning. 1 out, and he gets set to face Grant Lake. So Lake will bat from the right side, facing the right-hander, Reese Miller. Miller checks the runner at second base. First pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. Jaron Hill is the runner over at second base. He came on to pitch hit for Connor Jackson and came up with a single. Or I should say he was hit by a pitch. Let's try that. Then he got to second base on a bunt by Cole Lee. Grant Lake looks at a strike. So that's a 1-1 count on the shortstop for the Eagles from Oklahoma Christian. Miller takes a long look in at his catcher, Badgett. That's going to be a slow roller. It's going to go in for a base hit. And this will be the tying run, as coming in to score to tie things up is Jaron Hill. So Jaron Hill able on that slow roller between first and second. Nobody was there to kind of come up with it as we watched the replay. Again, just nobody there as the second baseman, Savoy, was over toward the bag at second trying to hold the runner on. And so Grant Lake gets an RBI single. And he's over at first base. That brings up Chance Westervelt, hitting .305 on the season, face Reese Miller. First pitch is a strike. Gets away from Badgett, but nevertheless. So everybody sends in their offensive and defensive signals. They call out numbers. Do Oklahoma Christian. Everybody checks their wristbands. Westervelt ready to go. Reese Miller ready to go. Outside corner misses for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Westervelt, as mentioned, 305 at the plate, but with runners on base, he's hitting 378. Has a hit and has scored a run today. He's also struck out twice. Slow roller hit down the third baseline, fouling out of play. So for Westervelt, that runs the count to 1-2. Westervelt, a sophomore, went to Cowley Community College, Cowley County Community College, from Moore, Oklahoma. Batting from the right side, big open stance. Takes a swing and comes up empty for strikeout. So that's out number 2 here in the top of the 9th. And that will bring up Michael DeFiorio.
Number 23, Michael DeFiorio.
And DeFiorio has had a good day at the plate. He is 3 for 4, scored 2 runs, hit a home run, a double and a single, and struck out. Reese Miller checks the wristband, exactly what they're going to do on the set here. Runner at first base. And that's in the dirt, or right on the inside corner, I should say, for a strike. Kind of threw me the way that Kennedy Badgett was trying to keep that one in front of him. So Michael DeFiorio, batting from the left side, settles back in, ready to go. Reese Miller takes a look at the runner at first base. Now zeroes in on his catcher, gets the set. Miller in the windup. Swung on for a strike. So DeFiorio down in the count 0-2. Top of the 9th inning. Six our score as Oklahoma Christian able to tie it up here in the top of the 9th. Jaron Hill on a pitch hit, I should say. That swung on and shallow center field. That's going to be a tough play. And so runners will head to on the corner for first and third as Lake was able to motor around and get to third base on that single by Michael DeFiorio. That'll bring up Tanner White. And Tanner White has 2 hits today. He's also grounded out. Let's see, before that we're going to have a visit on the mound. There is action in the bullpen. And that may be all for Reese Miller. They're looking at the bullpen, and yeah, they've signaled in for pitch hit or pitch reliever to come on. And so with that, we'll take a timeout as we have a pitching change taking place here at Wilder Park. We're tied at 6 here in the top of the 9th. We'll be back right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
When you choose natural gas,
Chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back here in the top of the ninth. Another pitching change. A.J. Iola comes in to pitch for the Buffs. A.J. from 5'8", senior from Corpus Christi, Texas. Pitched before at St. Edwards, comes in with a 2-0 record. He has pitched in 8 innings so far this season, allowed 12 hits, and 8 runs have come across. And those have all been earned. He's walked 7, struck out 12, slot a double, a triple, and a home run so far this season. A.J., left-hander, comes in to face Tanner White, batting from the left side. White today has 2 hits and driven in 2 runs. We're at a 6-6 ball game as Oklahoma Christian has tied it up here in the top of the 6th. There's a strike on the inside corner to Tanner White. Grant Lake over at third base. Michael DeForio over at first. White drives this out to left center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. And 1 run will come across. Here's the relay in. They're going to send DeForio to home plate as Tanner White comes through with a 2-out double and pushes the lead now for Oklahoma Christian. In front now, 8-6. So they've scored 3 times here in the inning.
Number 0, Kevin Collier.
So that'll bring up Kevin Collier. And first pitch swinging right to Mike Mineta. And he will throw him out at first base, and he is retired. 6-3 for round number 3, but not before 3 runs come across in the inning on 3 hits.
No errors. 1 runner left on base.
And there was 1 left on base. No errors in the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Oklahoma Christian in front, 8-6. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Well, Oklahoma Christian last week took on St. Edwards, and they ended up losing in that series, but they did win one of their games and in that contest, and so that's how they moved to 7-17. And so facing the Buffaloes here, they lead this one 8-6 as we go to the top of the bottom of the ninth inning, and Adam Becker will come up to lead things off for the Buffaloes. Becker at .435 average, facing Matthew Shira. Shira now pitching, kind of a side armor. Throws a strike in there for Becker. Becker looks back at the umpire. It's kind of questioning that coming in there from Shira. Slow roller hit foul and out of play. So he's down in the count 0-2. Shira, who is 1-1 on this season, has one save. He's pitched in 11 1/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 6 runs, 3 of those earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 11. That's driven down the right field line, and that is going to be foul and out of play. So it keeps the count at 0-2 on Adam Becker. Becker on the day has scored a run, he's driven in a run, and he's walked once and struck out once. Fouls that one off at the plate. Keeps the count at 0-2. Becker just trying to stay alive at the plate, try to get on board. Buffs trail 8-6 here in the bottom of the ninth. So Becker, 0-2 pitch on the way. It's going to be in the outside corner for a ball. Runs the count to 1-2. Becker settles back in, ready to go. That's fouled off his ankle. Those sting just a little bit. Keeps the count at 1-2. Matthew Shira is from Abilene. He's a sophomore. Went to Ranger College. So Becker settles back in, batting from the right side. Outside for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Shira takes a long look in at his battery mate. Gets the sit from Colton Hinkle. And this was hit right back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. And so Adam Becker gets aboard with a single. That'll bring up Will Fenning. Fenning, who has 3 hits on the day and has also walked.
After the leadoff single, that brings up number 15, Will Fenning.
Fenning batting .368 on the season. Has driven in a run today. Has 3 hits, settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side, facing Shira for the first time. That caught the inside corner for a strike. Again, more like a sidearm or almost submarine style from Matthew Shira. And that is misses for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Over at first base is Adam Becker. Takes his lead. All-speed pitch. Had Will Fenning out in front. So he's down in the count 1-2. Eric Ortiz in the on-deck circle. That is going to be driven out to left field. That's going to be a base hit. That goes off the wall, rounding second and heading toward third. They're going to hold up Will Finning, or I should say Adam Becker at third. Will Finning with a stand-up double, got a hold of that pitch and gave it a ride. So runners at third, second and third for the Buffaloes.
After that double, that brings up number 25, Eric Ortiz.
And that brings up Eric Ortiz, who heads to the plate. Ortiz, the junior from Puerto Rico. Palm Beach State, 6'3", 210-pound junior will settle in. They're going to have a pitch runner for the Buffaloes.
Number 13, Glenn Norona.
And Glenn Norana will come in to pitch run over at second base. So he'll run for Will Finning. Long conversation out on the hill for Colton Hinkle, and Matthew Shira is trying to give him some quick conversation. There's still action in the Oklahoma City bullpen. So Ortiz comes up. Eric so far today has got a board on a fielder's choice, has flown out to left field twice. And got a board in the third inning. And drives this one out to right center field. That's a single at least. 2 runs will come home for the Buffaloes to tie it up, and it'll be a double, stand-up double for Eric Ortiz as he drives into first pitch swinging, brings Will Finning around to score, I should say Adam Becker around to score, and then the pitch runner who came around, Glenn Nuna. That brings up the shortstop, Mike Manetta, on that one. As you look at the replay there. And so nice job on that hit from Eric Ortiz. So we're tied at 8 here in the bottom of the 9th. And the Buffs, still with no outs, have driven in 2. And Mike Manetta will head to the plate. Manetta batting from the left side, settles in, ready to go. Manetta, 289 at the plate. Shearer takes a long look at the runner at second, and Manetta tried to lay down a bunt to move him over to third. And so that'll be a strike because he did offer up on that one. So no 1 count for Manetta. Manetta shows bunt once again. And Shira wheels and runs back the runner at second base. Manetta shows bunt once again. They're in on the grass at both first and third. And again, wheeling. Shearer ready to go. Manetta shows bunt once again. Pulls the bat back, and that one gets by the catcher. And so heading down to third base is Kix Farrell, the pitch runner. So now let's see if that changes a little bit. That runs the count to 1-1 on Manetta, and they're going to go ahead and walk him on 4. So Manetta will head to first base. So you have runners at the corner. And that will bring up
Now coming to the plate, number 2, Nolan Kuhn.
We'll bring up Nolan Kuhn, who came on back in the 7th and hit a line drive right to the third baseman, and they're going to walk him. So Kuhn will go down to load the bases here. Intentional walk.
Bryant Bailey.
And so that brings up Bryant Bailey. So the Buffs have the winning run down to third base. The bases are full, and Bryant Bailey heads to the plate. He's had one hit today. And that back in the third inning, facing Matthew Shira. And that pitch misses outside for a ball. And so Bailey settles in, ready to go. Infield in, all the way around. Going to knock anything down. And that's a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. So Bailey settles back in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Looks at a strike. So he's down in the count. 1-2, 8-8 ball game here in the bottom of the ninth. Bases are full for the Buffs with 2 outs. Actually, check it. Buffs don't have any outs. Looking at the scoreboard wrong. Got to get my eyes fixed on that one. No outs for the Buffs. And now there's one as Bryant Bailey strikes out. So that's out number 1. We'll go to the top of the order. Eddie Savoy.
Back to the top of the buff order with number 8, Eddie Savoy.
So Savoy will work his way into the batter's box. Again today, Savoy with 2 hits. He scored 2 runs. He's walked once. He had a double. That was back in the 6th inning. Time called. Quick conversation for Oklahoma City as they're going to gather out on the mound. They do have some pitchers that are warming up in the bullpen, but this may be more than anything else just to discuss strategy with the bases full. Again, the Buffs with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. 2 runs have already come home. Over at third base is Kix Farrell. He's the pitch runner on for Eric Ortiz, who hit a double to tie this ball game up. The umpire has made his way out just to make sure that we're ready to go. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. And Eddie Savoy will make his way into the batter's box, hitting .391. All he has to do is hit one in the air. Everybody's playing in, so anything in the air will play to run. Facing Matthew Shira. So Shira getting set, ready to go. Pitches outside for a ball. Savoy is the 7th batter to bat here in the bottom of the ninth for the Buffaloes in an 8-8 ball game. Savoy takes a big cut, sends it fouling out of play. Evens the count at 1-1. Savoy, even stance, back deep in the batter's box. Facing Matt Shira. Drives this one to the third baseman. Here's the throw to the plate. That's 1 out. So that was the only play they had. And so Eddie Savoy gets a board on the fielder's choice. And Farrell is thrown out. 5-2.
Jacob Butler.
That's out number 2. And so that'll bring up Jacob Butler, the pitch hitter for Ryan Johnson. So Butler, 5'10 junior, looks at strike 1. Butler settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Batting .263 on the season. Infield now playing back deep, everybody playing back. Off-speed pitch is a good one, in there for a strike. And so Butler down in the count, 0-2. Butler ready to go, batting from the right side, chokes up in the stance, looks at a pitch down low for a ball. Runs the count to 1-2. 8-8, bases loaded for the Buffaloes, bottom of the 9th inning. 2 outs for the Buffs. Jacob Butler on. The pitch hit. And sends this one out to center field, and the center fielder's got a beat on it, and that's going to be out number 3 as Butler is flying out to right or out to center, I should say, for out number 3. So for the Buffaloes, 2 runs on 3 hits, and 3 runners were left on base. We have played 9 complete. We're going to extra innings as we will take a timeout and come back for the top of the 10th after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology, innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
Well, welcome back as we go to the top of the 10th inning, and A.G. Ayala stays on in relief here as we go to the top of the 10th. See if there's some defensive changes for the Buffaloes. There is, of course, as moving over to first base is Eddie Savoy. And on at second base now for the Buffaloes is Kix Farrell. So those are the changes that have been made for the Buffs defensively. Oklahoma Christian will send up to the plate to start the 10th inning. It's going to be Jake Lamar, who had a triple his last at bat. Lamar batting from the right side. Sends this one skyward and trying to get out there and circle underneath it back at the warning track and pulling it into the deepest part of center field. That's about the 400 mark. At the 405 mark is where it's over. And so nice catch by Brian Bailey out there in center field as Mark is retired for out number 1. That'll bring up Colton Hinkle, the catcher. Hinkle batting from the right side today. Still looking for his first hit. And that pitch is way outside for a ball. Hinkle has grounded out 3 times today and flied out to the second baseman. So he's 0 for 4 at the plate. Hinkle batting 169. Is that a pitch that's high for a ball? So he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Top of the 10th inning, 8-8 ball game between Oklahoma Christian and West Texas A&M. That's going to miss outside for a ball. 3-0 the count. So A.J. Ayala, left-hander looks, gets set, comes in with a strike on the outside corner. So that runs the count to 3-1. Ayala ready to go. The lefty set to deliver. That's going to be popped up. Hit out into right field. Keep going back, and that is gone as Colton Hinkle, who hasn't had anything happen today at the plate, comes through with a solo home run to give Oklahoma Christian the lead, 9-8. And that'll bring up Jaron Hill. So Jaron Hill is up for his second at-bat. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat back in the top of the 9th inning. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. So Oklahoma Christian in front, 9-8. Here in the top of the 10th. Off-speed pitch is fouled out of play. So Hill is down in the count, 0-2 to A.G. Ayala. So Ayala settles in, ready to go. The left-hander delivers, and that's going to be an off-speed pitch that gets Hill to strike out. So that's out number 2. That'll bring up Cole Lee. Cole Lee is grounded out, got a board on a bunt, and came around to score. Then hit to the first baseman. In the 6th, he was thrown out as he was able to get it over to the pitcher. So he's grounded out 3-1 and 1-3 back in the 9th. First pitch swinging is a strike. A.J. Ayala. Ayala looks, checks the pitch they want him to throw, and it's going to be right back to him. And running it down, Farrell gets it, throws it over to first. In time for the putout. A nice pickup over at first base by Eddie Savoy on a throw from Farrell, who had that going kind of away from him. And so Cole Lee is retired 4-3 for out number 3, but they do get a run on one hit. There were no runners left on base, no errors in the inning, and we go to the bottom of the 10th with Oklahoma Christian in front, 9-8. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back as we get set to go to the bottom of the 10th. And for the Buffaloes in the bottom of the 10th, Kennedy Badgett will come up first, followed by Adam Becker and Will Fenning. And we'll check and see who they...
Hitting off the bottom of the 10th inning for your Buffs, number 16, Kennedy Badgett.
The Buffs come up trailing 9-8 after a solo home run in the top of the 10th by Colton Hinkle gave the Eagles their one-run lead as the catcher settles behind the plate. And there's a pitch outside for a ball. So Badgett, who has scored 2 runs today, he struck out once as well. Batting from the right side. And that pitch hits him, so he's aboard. Second time he's been hit by a pitch.
That Jimmy Fincher hit by a pitch brings up number 22, Adam Becker.
That'll bring up Adam Becker to the plate to face Matthew Shira. Last time that Adam Becker was aboard, he got aboard on a single and came around to score. Back in the 9th inning when the Buffs scored 2. They were looking for some runs to occur, and before that, the Eagles are going to change their defensive set with a runner aboard. So Becker batting from the right side will settle in, ready to go. Shira, who's pitched an inning, has allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 1, and this one's a slow roller to the second baseman. On in time for 1 and over to second for the double play. So first one of the ball game comes at an opportune time for the Eagles as they get Adam Becker to go 4-6-3. And quickly we got 2 outs here for the Buffs. That'll bring up Will Fenning. Check it. It'll bring up Glenn Nerona, who came on to pitch run for Fenning. So Nerona will settle in, ready to go. First pitch swinging. That's going to be hit down the third base line, fouling out of play. So Nerona down in the count, 0-1, batting from the left side. Nerona batting 111 on the season. Swings at that one and fouls it off out of play. He's down in the count 0-2. So Shira got some opportunities here ahead in the count. 9-8, bottom of the 10th inning. Nerona settles in, swings, fouls this one off at the plate, stays alive. Nerona from Mississauga, Ontario. 5'8" freshman, settles in, batting from the left side, ready to go. It's going to be high for a ball. So a 1-2 count for the freshman. Shira getting set to deliver. That's going to be fouled off at the plate. So Nerona able to keep in play here. 1-2 count. Settles back in, batting from the left side. Nerona fouls this one off at the plate. Keeps the count at 1-2. 9-8 our score, bottom of the 10th. Oklahoma City trying to eke out the win here. Buffs with 2 outs. That misses outside for ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Glenn Nerona settles back in, ready to go from the left side, facing the right-hander. Sends this one out to left field, and that one is going to be an out. As that goes out to the left fielder, who was able to pull that one in. And so, nice glove by Tanner White as he was able to pull that in for the fly out for out number 3. So, a 1-2-3 inning for the Buffs here in the 10th. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Nobody on base for WT as they fall to Oklahoma Christian by a final of 9-8. As the Buffaloes fall to 19-4 on the season and 17-4 in Lone Star Conference play, while Oklahoma Christian improves to 8-17. 8-17 overall on the season. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back and wrap things up here from Wilder Park. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park as the Buffs fall to Oklahoma Christian 9-8 this afternoon here, or into the early evening now in Canyon, Texas, as Oklahoma Christian was able to jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning, and then led 4-0 midway through the third before the Buffs score 4 in the bottom of the third to tie it up at 4. Then Oklahoma Christian scores 1 in the top of the 5th. The Buffs answer with 1 in the bottom of the 5th. We're tied at 5. Then the Buffs take the lead in the bottom of the 6th as they score 1 to go up 6-5. Oklahoma Christian scores 3 in the top of the 9th to take an 8-6 lead, but the Buffs answer back in the bottom of the 9th as they score 2 to tie it up at 8. We go to the top of the 10th, and the winning hit came from Colton Hinkle, who struggled at the plate for most of the day as he's able to drive a solo shot over the right field fence. And that proved to be the difference in this one, 9-8 for the Buffaloes, as Oklahoma Christian improves, as mentioned, to 8-17 on the year. The Buffs fall to 19-4 and 17-4 on the Lone Star Conference schedule. So these two teams will meet again tomorrow with a doubleheader. They'll start at 4 o'clock with game 1 of the first set, and then we'll play with their second game after that, or around 7 o'clock or so, depending on how the first game goes. And then we'll play their final game on Sunday. But again, our final here today, a final of 9-8 in favor of Oklahoma Christian as they improve that win to 8-17 on the year. Big thanks to everyone for being involved in this one. As always, Jordan County for running cameras, along with Jaden Chinnis and John Erickson. And as always, producing and directing and doing a wonderful job for the Thunder Vision Network on this one as well, as Jacob Griffin takes care of all the controls for us in this one. Again, the final tonight, Oklahoma Christian with a 9-8 win over WT. I'm Bryce Sheets saying good night until tomorrow when we have Buffalo baseball coming your way once again